But let's go ahead and hear what Charlamagne the God and Anderson Cooper were having a heated exchange over on CNN.
Apparently Trump's going to tape a thing with Joe Rogan. Do you think she should do that?
I think that she should keep calling Donald Trump a fascist. And I think that Americans need to keep looking at the rhetoric of Donald Trump, because I don't know why we're even thinking about electing somebody who's talking about putting people in camps. I don't know why why we want to elect somebody who's talking about mass deportation. I don't know why we're having this conversation about somebody who wants to terminate the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. Aren't we supposed to be a patriotic country? Whenever somebody like Colin Kaepernick takes a knee in this country, everybody talks about, oh, that's so unpatriotic. But a guy can say he wants to terminate the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election and nobody cares. And like even me bringing it up now, you brought it back to Kamala and Joe Rogan. Anderson,
yeah,
who gives a damn?
Well, I mean, I think you give damn who's elected president, and
yeah, I'm especially if that president is a fascist. That's talking about putting people in camps. That's talking about, once again, terminating the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. That's talking about, jailing his apparently political opponents. Yeah. Like, that rhetoric doesn't scare people.
We talk about this every single. This is what
I don't think
I've been talking about this every night.
I don't think y'all have enough conversations about it. I feel like I heard more on this network about is Kamala Harris black than I do.
Y'all let me know. Is that true? Is that true? Because I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't worked at the news station in a long time. Okay. Hey, Erica. What's going on, my girl? We just trying something new. You know what I'm saying? People like the way I stand up on Tasha shit. So I decided to go ahead and see how I felt about this. Standing up, walking around. Maybe it'll make the live shorter. Okay. I won't make any promises. Okay, but back to Charlamagne. Do y'all really feel like they out here talking about if Kamala is black or not more than they talking about Trump being a fascist? And for all, y'all in the back that don't know what a fascist is, fascists often advocate for the establishment of a totalitarian, bitch, get the word right, one-party state. And for a, what the fuck word is that? Dirigist economy? Dirigist economy plays a strong directive role through economic interventionalist policies with the principal goal of achieving autarky, national economic self-sufficiency. Fascism is a far-right, authoritarian, ultra-nationalist political ideology and movement characterized by a dictatorial leader, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition. So, yeah, that all sounds like terrible shit to me. I don't know what's going on with any of you Trump supporters, but I've already, expressed my feelings. You are either in a cult or you are extremely misinformed. Those are the only two options as it pertains to this situation. Because to me, what's so crazy about rich people? And you can find this all over the place, right? The fact that motherfuckers will really cut their nose off to spite their face. Like, if you kill the planet, what's the point in being rich? Questions. I just have them. What is the point of y'all trying to not pay as much in taxes if you don't have any rights? Like, what is the point? Make me understand some shit. But this is because everybody with money believes they will always be exempt from these situations. And I want y'all to know the phrase "eat the rich" comes from a real place. I know a lot of y'all don't, because there are a lot of stupid rich people. Maybe y'all don't know historically how these things take place, but empires fall every day, B. I hate to say it like that, but empires fall every day, B. And a lot of times, what is needed is somewhat of a balance in an imbalanced system in order for things not to topple. So I feel like if Trump were president again, that's an extreme imbalance that's happening there. Less of an imbalance if it is Kamala. That is my belief on the situation. She's not talking about this being the last time you're going to vote for anybody. She's not talking about police officers not having to be held responsible if they are out here reckless with their guns. She even went and put something together for you niggas because y'all was acting like none of this other shit mattered. So she went and drafted some stuff for y'all. So, I just think it is very stupid that we even still having this conversation trying to convince somebody of anything. Like, you do understand this person wants to make it so that you don't have any say any longer. You do understand that, right? Are you okay? You're not okay. You're not okay. And the funny thing about it is that it used to be a smaller number of you stupid motherfuckers in the black community. It used to be a smaller number of y'all. I don't know what has happened. I know what happened. This is what happens when y'all allow people to infiltrate culture. Trump was allowed for years to infiltrate culture simply because he owned buildings. He was able to allow rappers and all of them to rent out houses and cars and be at the hotel filming, Home Alone and shit. And it was a part of the contract that he had to be seen. He had to be heard. Y'all had to mention his name. He wasn't even that fucking rich. Had y'all believing he was one of the richest people in the world. Okay? Like, it's a lot of misinformation and lies that have come out. And if anybody had paid attention to that Mr. McMahon documentary on Netflix, they would have saw how Trump is very good at blurring the lines of truth and lies. He is a performer. He is not a dignitary. He should not be anybody's president. He shouldn't even be a CEO. I don't think so. I think he can be an actor. I think he can be the owner of something, because what else has he done? But this is one of them times where you just having a rich daddy and being a white man in America and being rootless get you to where you're trying to go at some point or another. But I'm gonna say it again. Anybody that's been paying attention, the dude is ridiculous. He's not smart. He's just taking advantage of all of y'all's high emotions. Y'all get all emotionally involved. But that's what, Republicans and people have been doing for years. If you hate gay people, you know what I'm saying? If you want things to be very strict, if you want to be able to tell other people what to do in their private life because of your belief system, because of your religion, then you can be tapped on. Your phobias can be tapped on. And now you're voting against your own self-interest. You're voting for somebody that is really going to put laws in place to put you at a disadvantage. You already broke. Bitch, you already broke. And you out here about to vote for the nigga that really don't care about poor people and actually says this shit to y'all. Y'all are weird. And there's nothing I can do about it. So I voted already. If y'all did not, I've already went and casted my vote. It may not really matter all of that much sometimes, but I'm still gonna cast my vote because at the end of the day, percentages matter. But y'all tell me, I'm gonna let Charlamagne and them finish arguing amongst themselves. But y'all tell me in the comments before we move on from this subject, do y'all feel like, those of y'all who watch CNN, please, if you do not watch CNN, please do not comment. If you watch CNN, do you feel like they are talking more about Kamala being black than the fascism? Because at the end of the day, I feel like Charlamagne, everybody's hallelujah Charlamagne. But to me, Charlamagne was doing the same fucking thing. You were doing the same thing, sir. You were more worried about Kamala talking to black people and proving herself to y'all than you ever were about critiquing Trump. So I think it's very funny that you and Angela got up there with your, high five black people shit, when at the end of the day, you do the same thing at the Breakfast Club.
About Donald Trump being a fascist.
Well,
am I wrong, Angela?
Honestly, that's bullshit. I'm sorry.
Oh, I like that.
That's
Go ahead, Anderson.
No, I'm not. Look, I'm a huge fan of yours.
Okay.
But to say that we're sitting around discussing, is Kamala Harris black? Like,
I've seen that. I've seen those roundtable discussions a lot. Now that's
true.
Bullshit, Anderson. For you to say that y'all don't have those conversations.
I've never asked somebody, is.
Oh, I'm not saying
Kamala
you.
Harris
I said the
Not you.
network.
He said the network.
I don't think anyone on. I don't think any anchor on this network has been going around saying, "Is she black?"
Y'all have never
It's
had
definitely.
we have had. Look, I'm sure we have had, nutty people or people who have strongly held beliefs who I may disagree with, who somewhere on some panel have said something, but I will just speak up for what
political opponents like that. Rhetoric doesn't scare people.
We talked about this. I do on the show. I do believe it's important to get people different viewpoints, as long as they're willing to have a legitimate conversation. What I don't like are surrogates who come out and just spout talking points that they don't even believe. And those are people I tried to eliminate from having ever on the air again.
I think no network has honest conversations about Donald Trump. Nobody's had honest conversations about Donald Trump since 2016. I saw last night they were talking about, the double standard that exists between Donald Trump and the vice president. But it's always a double standard with Trump, whether it's with Hillary, whether it's, against Biden, now with Kamala. We talk about him being a threat to democracy, but we don't treat him like one.
I mean, I don't know what you've been watching, but I don't know of any Trump supporters out there or people who like him who are tuning in to me every night to try to get, to be validated in their opinions. I don't know. I don't know. I disagree.
I don't think it's about validating. What you mean, validating the Trump?
What you're saying, that we're not, that I guess you're saying I'm not discussing what I do on the show, all the things he is saying and doing and pointing it out and talking to, what John Kelly, all the things he is saying and doing and pointing it out. And
here's the thing, and I'm gonna let this go. Here's the thing. When y'all decided to elect Trump as president the first time, you made it damn near impossible for journalists and news organizations to focus on what's important. And I say this because I worked at a news station at the beginning of his 4 years, his first presidency. Thank God. Please let it be the last. But I remember what that was like. And he was lying and saying crazy shit on camera every single day. But he is the president of the United States. There is no way you cannot cover the shit that's coming out of his mouth because of the position that he was in. So essentially, I feel like what Anderson is having a hard time saying is that as a white person, I'm not arguing about whether Kamala is black or not because the bitch look black to me. Essentially, we now have to have conversations with the other side in a way that we didn't in past years. Because we have to talk about the things that he's saying. But we also have to talk about the way people talk about Kamala. And the main thing that black men included are talking about is the fact that she's a black woman or a biracial woman or she's not black. And I keep telling y'all that it does not matter. She could be purple, blue, or green. She could be purple, blue, green, and she could be a rainbow color that my eyes can't even really, my eyes can't even really see. And I still would have voted for her based on common sense, decency, and the history of Donald Trump not giving a fuck about anybody but his rich homeboys, especially when he puts them in places of power that they should not be in. Did you hear about him getting rid of the education system? Because that's smart, right? That's smart, right? No, it's not. There are a whole bunch of people in the world that would not educate their kids if it were not for the public school system. There are kids out here that wouldn't eat if it wasn't for the public school system because you never know what's going on at home. The less checks and balances they have sometimes, the more people are allowed to be harmed, be at risk. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? It's just how I feel about it. That's what the fuck we here for. It's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying?